March 18, 1945, Western Germany. The forest was burning. American infantry of the 89th Division moved through the blackened pines, rifles raised, smoke rolling low across the ground. Machine gun fire cracked from somewhere ahead, short, panicked bursts, then stopped as suddenly as it began. The enemy was pulling back fast, but not without leaving traps behind. Sergeant Cole wiped soot from his eyes, scanning the trees. "Stay sharp. Germans are falling back toward the ridge. Check every trench, every hole." The unit pushed forward, boots crunching over frozen mud, tension in every step. No one talked. No one wasted breath. The fighting that morning had been brutal, close, chaotic, and far too personal. They'd already taken casualties. But something felt wrong. The forest grew quieter. Too quiet for a battlefield still in motion. Even the wind felt held back, trapped between the trees. The smell of burning pine mixed with cordite hung heavy. Private Reeves slowed, raising his hand. "Sergeant, look!" Ahead, at the base of a rocky slope, lay what looked like the collapsed entrance of an old storage bunker, half hidden by fallen branches, shrapnel-scarred rocks, and smoke drifting from nearby shell impacts. But that wasn't what froze them. What froze them was the trail of German footprints leading inside. Fresh. Cole crouched and touched the prints. Still warm in the cold ground. "They're in there," he murmured. "And they're cornered." As if on cue, a rifle shot cracked from the tree lean behind them. An American soldier stumbled, hit in the shoulder. Another enemy shot followed, then another, a small German rearguard that had stayed behind to buy time. "Contact! Front left!" Cole roared. The forest ignited instantly. American rifles returned fire. Muzzle flashes strobed between the trees. A German MG-42 opened from behind a fallen log, ripping the air with its signature scream. Bark exploded. Leaves flew. Men dropped behind stumps and rocks. Reeves ducked behind a boulder as bullets tore past his helmet. "They're pinning us from two angles!" Cole's jaw clenched. The Germans weren't trying to win, they were trying to delay. To protect something. To prevent the Americans from reaching that bunker. "Flank right!" Cole barked. "Reeves, you're with me!" They sprinted low, weaving through the trees as rounds zipped overhead. The MG-42 reeled and corrected, stitching the ground behind them. Mud kicked up around their boots. Reeves slid behind a thick oak, gasping, heart hammering. Cole leaned out, firing controlled bursts. "Suppress the gunner!" Another squad advanced from the left, drawing fire. 2 grenades arced toward the MG-42 nest. An explosion shredded the log and ended the gun. The forest went suddenly silent again. Breathing hard, Cole scanned the ridge. "Check the bodies! Watch for stragglers!" Reeves pointed toward the bunker entrance. "Sergeant, look!" A German soldier, young, wounded, coughing blood, crawled from behind a rock near the bunker. Not running. Not fighting. Dragging something. A steel lockbox. Cole rushed forward, kicking the man's weapon aside. "Stop! Hands where I can see!" But the German only held up the box as if offering it. Eyes wild. Terrified. Not of them, of whatever he was fleeing from. Bit gehen Sie nicht hinein. Please, do not go inside." Then he collapsed face first into the mud. The Americans exchanged uneasy looks. What the hell was inside that bunker? Cole lifted the lockbox. It was heavier than expected, the metal ice cold despite the burning forest around them. Stamped on the lid. "Weberheim, nicht öffnen. Top secret, do not open." A faint rumble echoed from somewhere deeper inside the hillside. Not artillery. Not footsteps. Something mechanical. Cole steadied his rifle. "All right, everyone on me. We're going in." The forest smoldered behind them. The trail of German footprints disappeared into the darkness ahead. whatever was inside. The Germans had died to protect it, and the Americans were about to walk straight into it. The bunker door loomed before them, half buried under mud and debris. Corporal Reeves shoved aside rotting branches while Cole forced the steel wheel. Rusted decades ago, the mechanism groaned but finally gave way. Cold, stale air shot out like a gust from the underworld. The tunnel beyond was narrow, reinforced with steel, damp, and smelled of mold and rust. Cole motioned for the squad to enter. "Stay sharp. Keep your rifles up. Check every corner." They moved in single file, boots scraping the metal floor. Every sound echoed: footsteps, shallow breathing, the creak of the doors swinging shut behind them. Darkness pressed in. Their flashlights revealed faded German markings along the walls. "Stuff 3, Zugang verboten. Level 3, access forbidden." Reeves shivered. What the hell were they hiding down here? Cole didn't answer. He didn't have time. Halfway down the first sloping corridor, a low metallic groan echoed from deeper inside. The squad froze. Dust fell from the ceiling. Pipes overhead rattled. Something heavy shifted further down the shaft. Then, from the darkness, movement. A figure appeared, cloaked in shadow. A German soldier, helmet dented, uniform torn, rifle slung low, moved with unnatural speed, sprinting along the rail tracks embedded in the floor. Cole fired a burst. The muzzle light bounced off steel walls. The figure twisted, rolled, and vanished around a corner, only to reappear in a flicker of lightning from their flashlights. Reeves ducked behind a crate. "It's like he knows where we're going." Cole's jaw tightened. "We split up. 2 left, 3 right. Cut him off." The squad flanked along side tunnels. Darkness swallowed the space between them. The metallic echo of boots on rails came first, then the soft scrape of something being dragged. They turned a corner into a larger chamber, steel walls, crates stacked high, and a faint hiss of steam from damaged pipes. Another figure emerged, a second German, younger, carrying supplies. Cole fired again. The soldier fell, but not before tossing a small explosive toward a crate. The blast rocked the chamber. Smoke, debris, and sparks filled the air. "Grenades!" Reeves shouted, rolling one under a stack of crates toward the third figure. Metal clanged as the explosive detonated. Dust and shrapnel coated the walls, and when it cleared, the first soldier was gone. Silence, heavy and suffocating, filled the chamber. Only the hiss of steam and distant, metallic groans remained. Cole signaled. "Move forward. Stay close. Watch the rails." They descended deeper into the bunker, the passage narrowing, dampness dripping from the ceiling onto rifles and helmets. The faint sound of machinery, old, worn, but operational, echoed through the walls. Rails led to a larger subterranean hall. Crates stamped with German markings lined the walls, some marked ammunition, others experiments. Reeves stopped, pointing at a crate half opened by the blast. Inside were rows of glass containers, faintly glowing in the flashlight beam. Some contained metallic shards, some small mechanical devices. Cole's stomach turned. Before he could assess further, a loud clang erupted from above, a heavy steel hatch shifting. Dust rained down as footsteps pounded the floor above them. Another squad of German soldiers, apparently surviving, hiding within the deeper levels, rushed down a secondary staircase. Cole fired, taking 2 before the others engaged in close-quarters combat. The bunker erupted. Rifles cracked, bodies collided, boots slipped on wet steel. Reeves tackled a soldier to the ground, knife slashing through leather. Cole engaged another, exchanging blows with his rifle, but as the German tried to push him toward the crates of experimental devices. Sparks flew as steel collided. Shouts echoed. German voices, panicked, aggressive. Cole kicked the nearest soldier back into a wall, then grabbed a fallen rifle, firing point blank. The bunker shook under the blast. Reeves ducked as another soldier threw a hand grenade. The explosion sent crates tumbling. Glass shattered. Steam hissed over their faces, burning skin and eyes. Cole looked around. The hallway was chaos, smoke, sparks, bodies scattered. But the rail track still led further into the bunker, deeper than any known map had ever suggested. Reeves gritted his teeth. "We can't hold them here forever." Cole nodded, scanning for the next move. He spotted a hatch at the far end of the hall, steel, reinforced, partially concealed by debris. "That's it. We go through there. It's our only chance to cut them off and find what the Germans are hiding." The squad sprinted across the steel floor. Bullets ricocheted, sparks dancing like fireflies in the darkness. One soldier charged them from the side. Cole swung his rifle, but knocking him out cold. Reeves pushed past falling crates, keeping pace. They reached the hatch. Cole kicked it open. A steep ladder descended into blackness. He took a deep breath. "Everyone, follow me. And stay alert. This is where it gets worse." From above, another metallic bang, the bunker doors shook. The German reinforcements above weren't giving up. Cole and his squad descended into the unknown, into a deeper chamber no one had set foot in for decades. Whatever the Germans had been hiding, it was waiting. And it was alive. The faint, mechanical hum grew louder as they moved downward, a rhythmic vibration running through the walls. Cole's flashlight illuminated something faintly glowing at the end of the ladder, a shadow of machinery, crates, and movement. "Whatever this is," he muttered, "it's bigger than all of us." The ladder shuddered under their weight as Cole and his squad descended deeper into the bunker. Each rung echoed in the confined shaft, a metallic drumbeat that seemed louder than gunfire above. Steam hissed from broken pipes overhead, and the air was thick with the stench of rust, mold, and something chemical, sharp and metallic. At the bottom, the squad dropped into a long, narrow corridor, reinforced with steel plates riveted into the walls. Bullets from the firefight above had cracked some of the panels, leaving jagged edges. The rail tracks from the main hall continued here, vanishing into darkness ahead. Every step brought a new metallic groan from the structure, an ominous reminder that the bunker had been built to last decades, to hold secrets the world was never meant to see. Reeves led, rifle raised, flashlight cutting through the gloom. Shadows danced across the walls. Every corner, every hatch, every faint sound seemed a threat. Then movement. From the corner of his eye, Cole saw a German soldier stepping out from behind a crate, rifle aimed with precision. The man was no young recruit, aged, gaunt, uniform tattered, but his aim was flawless. "Take cover!" Cole shouted. The corridor erupted. Rifle fire cracked, ricocheting off the steel walls. Sparks flew as bullets clipped metal plates. Reeves dove behind a crate, firing blind in the direction of the enemy. Cole pushed forward, sliding across the wet floor, using the shadows to mask his approach. A second German emerged, crouching low, tossing a small explosive toward the Americans. Cole dove sideways as the crate behind him shattered in a shower of wood splinters. The explosion sent smoke and dust into the tunnel, momentarily blinding everyone. Cole took advantage. Rolling to his feet, he charged the first soldier with a bayonet thrust. The German sidestepped, but Cole swung his rifle but in a savage arc, knocking the man to the ground. Reeves covered his flank, firing as the second soldier advanced. The confined space made fighting brutal. Each movement was calculated. Every shot could ricochet dangerously. Sparks and smoke combined with the stench of blood and wet earth. Cole swung at another approaching soldier, hitting him in the helmet, sending him sprawling into a stack of crates. The crates toppled, releasing a row of glass containers filled with strange, faintly glowing liquids. Cole barely avoided them as they shattered, spilling unknown chemicals across the floor. Reeves shouted, "Sir, more coming from the left corridor!" Cole peered into the side passage. Shadows moved. Figures emerged, more German soldiers, apparently hidden inside rooms. Their rifles barked, tearing through the air with deadly precision. The Americans returned fire, but the enemy was too familiar with the maze-like corridors. Cole gritted his teeth. "Split! Take the right passage. I'll hold the center." The squad separated, moving swiftly, The confined corridors amplified every gunshot, echoing like thunder. One German soldier leaped from a hatch above, crashing into Cole and sending him sprawling against a steel wall. Cole recovered quickly, swinging his rifle but in a tight arc, connecting with the man's side. He fell silent, groaning, but the others were relentless. Through the flickering flashlight beams, Cole saw something that made his blood run cold: trains of crates stacked with weapons, explosives, and mechanical devices unlike anything in their army manuals. Some crates were marked with the old Nazi eagle insignia, others with cryptic letters and numbers. It became clear the Germans had been moving experimental equipment, possibly the remnants of secret programs abandoned in the chaos of retreat. The rail track ended at a massive steel door reinforced with decades of metal. Cole approached cautiously, signaling Reeves to cover him. A low mechanical hum vibrated through the floor. Something was operating beyond the door, machines or worse. Suddenly, a loud metallic clatter echoed from the opposite end of the corridor. Cole spun, rifle raised. A German soldier, aged, almost skeletal, wearing a coat patched with decades of grime, ran straight at him with a knife. Cole fired a single shot. The soldier twisted midair, letting the bullet pass harmlessly through a gap in his coat, and drove forward, blade aiming for Cole's chest. Cole rolled, grabbed a nearby crate, and slammed it into the attacker. The German collapsed, but immediately scrambled back to his feet. His eyes were wild, furious, unwavering. This wasn't desperation, this was training, experience, decades of survival. "Reeves, cover the left!" Cole barked, firing bursts as more figures emerged from side rooms. They were relentless. The Americans were pinned in a deadly corridor labyrinth. Every corner concealed a soldier, every shadow could conceal a trap. One crate exploded from a stray bullet, sending glass shards flying. Reeves took a minor cut, blood streaking his forehead. Cole realized they had no choice. The only exit, the steel door at the end of the corridor, was also the only way to prevent the Germans from regrouping with the hidden reinforcements above. He had to push forward, no matter the cost. With a shout, Cole charged the corridor, firing, swinging, and ducking under gunfire. Reeves and the rest followed, close on his heels. The corridor erupted in flashes of steel and muzzle fire. One German soldier lunged at Cole, knife raised. Cole sidestepped, striking the man's head with the butt of his rifle. Another shot from Reeves took down a soldier attempting to flank them. They reached the massive steel door. Cole pressed his shoulder against it, feeling vibrations from the machinery beyond. Another German emerged from a side hatch. He was younger, terrified, but desperate. Cole aimed, fired, and the man went down. Through the flickering shadows, Cole caught movement beyond the steel door, a faint silhouette of something massive, moving. The hum grew louder, metallic and rhythmic. Cole knew one thing: whatever the Germans were hiding beyond this door, it wasn't just supplies. It was a machine. A weapon. And it had waited for decades to be discovered. The steel door loomed like a wall of death, slick with condensation. Cole's breath was visible in the cold, metallic air. Every step toward it sent echoes down the narrow corridor, alerting any hidden enemy. Reeves and the rest of the squad pressed close, rifles raised, hearts hammering. Cole reached the control panel beside the door. Decades of grime and rust coated the switches, but he could make out faint German labels. Mechanische Vorrichtung Aktivierung. Mechanical device, activation. Before he could act, the corridor behind them erupted. More Germans poured from side tunnels. Young and old, desperate and disciplined, they swarmed like shadows in the dim flashlight glow. Reeves fired into the first wave, each shot echoing, ricocheting off steel walls. Sparks danced. Cole swung his rifle but into a charging soldier, knocking him against the wall. Another soldier tried to flank from the left. Cole grabbed him by the arm, threw him to the ground, and kicked the rifle out of reach. The bunker had become a kill zone. Metal crates toppled under gunfire, shrapnel sprayed, and steam hissed from ruptured pipes. Bullets ricocheted dangerously close. Each corner was a potential death trap. Cole's eyes scanned the room beyond the door. Faint light revealed something enormous, a massive, cylindrical machine lined with copper coils, pipes, and mechanical arms. It thrummed with a low, resonant vibration. Whatever it was, it had been designed to operate for decades without maintenance. Reeves shouted, "Sir, more coming! Right corridor!" Cole pivoted, firing controlled bursts while using crates and steel panels for cover. One German soldier lunged with a knife. Cole sidestepped, jamming his rifle into the man's chest, and shoved him into a pile of crates. Another soldier raised his rifle from the shadows. Reeves's bullet took him down mid-motion. Amid the chaos, a metallic clang rang through the chamber. Something heavy had shifted inside the machine. Sparks flew. The vibration grew stronger, almost like the device had noticed them. Cole knew they couldn't stop. Not here. Not now. "Breach it!" he yelled. "We push through that door!" Reeves and the squad advanced. Bullets streaked past, ricocheting off steel walls. One crate exploded under fire, sending glass and chemicals flying. Smoke filled the chamber, stinging their eyes. Cole slammed his shoulder into the steel door. It resisted, groaning under decades of rust, but gave a fraction. He kicked hard. Another fraction. The Germans behind them were relentless, but the squad fought like ghosts, swift, precise, lethal. The door shuddered. A final kick sent it swinging open. Cold, musty air poured out. Beyond, the central chamber was revealed, a cavernous hall lined with railed tracks and stacked crates, buzzing machinery, and faint, glowing instruments. Shadows shifted along the walls. And then he saw it. A German soldier, wounded, older but alive, emerged from the far end. He held a small detonator in one hand, eyes wild. "If you reach it, it's over," he whispered in a broken voice. Cole didn't hesitate. He fired. The man fell, detonator skidding across the floor. Sparks flew. The machine thrummed louder, almost as if reacting. Another wave of Germans charged from side tunnels. The Americans returned fire, rifles echoing in the massive chamber. Sparks, smoke, metal, and screams filled the space. Crates toppled, some bursting open to reveal old munitions. Cole darted forward, using overturned crates for cover. He spotted a control panel on the machine, gleaming copper, switches, levers, dials labeled in Old German. With one hand, he began flipping switches, trying to stabilize the device. Bullets whined past his ears. Reeves tackled a soldier lunging at him, knocking him out cold. Another soldier swung a crowbar. Cole ducked and kicked the man into the glowing machine. Sparks flew. The machine roared louder. Panels shook. Pipes hissed. It was unstable. Deadly. But if they didn't neutralize it, the Germans would regroup, recover, and the war could swing again, even at this late hour. Cole shouted over the chaos. "Shut it down! Now!" Reeves grabbed another lever. Sparks leapt across the floor as electrical circuits overloaded. A deafening hum shook the chamber. The Germans hesitated, seeing the machine come alive in violent fury. Another German soldier lunged from a side hatch. Cole turned, fired. The man dropped. One by one, the remaining enemy soldiers were either incapacitated or retreating, slipping into shadowy tunnels that led deeper. Cole wiped sweat and blood from his brow. The machine's hum settled to a low, manageable vibration. The bunker had been neutralized, for now. But the room smelled of gunpowder, sweat, and old metal. Cole looked at Reeves. "We've only scratched the surface. There's more down here. And more people will come." The squad advanced cautiously, scanning every rail, every crate, every shadow. What the Germans had left behind was massive, deadly, and designed to survive beyond the war itself. Cole's voice was low, grim. "We're not done yet. The heart of the bunker is still ahead, and whatever the Germans hid, it's waiting for us." The rails descended further into darkness. A faint orange glow flickered at the end of the hall, revealing silhouettes moving like specters. Cole's grip tightened on his rifle. The fight was far from over. The deeper chamber stretched ahead like a canyon carved from steel and stone. The faint hum from the bunker's machinery pulsed in the walls, vibrating through the floor and into their boots. Cole's squad advanced cautiously, rifles raised, senses taut. Every shadow could conceal a German soldier, a trap, or worse, something they had never expected to see. The rails ended abruptly at a massive reinforced hatch, riveted steel gleaming dimly under their flashlights. Smoke and steam hissed from vents along the walls. The glowing light beyond promised danger, but also the answers they sought. Cole signaled. Spread out. Quietly. Eyes open. They moved like shadows through the final corridor. Every step echoed against metal walls. Then the first shot rang out. A German soldier leapt from behind a stack of crates, rifle raised. Reeves fired, hitting the man mid-charge, but another German was already emerging from a side hatch. The Americans ducked behind crates and steel panels as the chamber erupted into chaos. Bullets ricocheted off steel walls. Sparks flew. Smoke and dust stung eyes and filled lungs. The squad fought with lethal precision, hand to hand when necessary. Cole swung the butt of his rifle, knocking one soldier into a crate filled with unknown devices. Reeves tackled another to the ground, taking him out with a swift strike. Amid the firefight, Cole spotted the control panel of the bunker's central machine. Copper coils, levers, dials, glowing with an eerie orange light. Whatever it was, the Germans had been guarding it with their lives. If it wasn't neutralized, the weapon could shift the balance of power, even at this late stage of the war. A grenade clanged against the steel floor. Sparks flew. Cole lunged, pushing Reeves out of the blast radius. Crates exploded, scattering shards of glass and metal. The Germans pressed relentlessly. One lunge from above a stairwell, Cole swung his rifle, knocking the man down the steps. Another aimed a rifle from behind a crate. Reeves shot first. Cole reached the machine. It pulsed violently, almost alive. He began flipping switches, turning dials, overriding decades-old German engineering. The hum intensified, vibrating through the walls like a living heartbeat. "Shut it down!" Cole shouted, voice echoing over gunfire. Reeves yanked another lever, sparks dancing across the metal floor. The Germans hesitated, seeing their precious device falter. Cole took the opportunity, swinging his rifle but at a soldier attempting to reach the controls. The man went down, unconscious, as the machine whirred erratically. One by one, the remaining Germans were neutralized. Some retreated into side tunnels, disappearing into the labyrinthine corridors. Others were incapacitated under the relentless fire and combat of Cole's squad. Each encounter was brutal, close, and unforgiving. Finally, silence fell, broken only by the hum of the machine winding down and the heavy breaths of the surviving Americans. Cole looked around. The chamber was littered with bodies, crates toppled, sparks from damaged panels flickering across the steel walls. He approached the control panel. The machine was unstable but no longer threatening. Whoever had built it had intended it to survive decades, to protect something powerful. And it had. Until now. Reeves, still catching his breath, gestured toward a stack of crates. "Sir, look at this." Cole lifted one. Inside were files, blueprints, weapons components, and experimental devices. The Germans had hidden decades of research, the remnants of secret programs thought destroyed. This was their legacy, dangerous, well protected, and now in American hands. Cole exhaled slowly. "We've secured it, but this isn't over. We need to get out and report everything. Someone else will come looking. Someone else will try to use this." The squad moved cautiously back toward the ladder leading to the surface. Every step was tense, every shadow a potential threat. The forest above was still, eerily quiet after the morning's chaos. Cole paused at the top, glancing back at the sealed hatch. The Germans wanted this hidden forever. They failed. But the cost, we've paid heavily to get it. Reeves nodded, bloodied and exhausted. "No one will believe this exists." Cole turned, leading his squad into the forest. The bunker lay hidden beneath the trees, silent once more, its deadly secrets neutralized, for now. But the echoes of what had occurred within its steel walls would remain with them forever. The battle was over, but the story of the hidden bunker, the relentless Germans who had defended it, and the deadly secret inside, was only beginning. The climb back up the ladder felt endless. Each rung slick with condensation, each step a reminder that the enemy could still be lurking somewhere below. The hum of the bunker's machinery faded into the shadows, replaced by the distant sound of artillery and gunfire from the forest above. Cole reached the top first, pulling himself out into the damp air. He helped Reeves and the others up one by one. The forest canopy shivered with the wind, casting long, menacing shadows over the mud-slicked ground. The morning sun struggled to pierce the dense trees, light flickering across their rain-soaked helmets and rifles. "Everyone okay?" Cole barked, scanning the perimeter. Reeves shook his head. "Minor cuts, nothing major. But we lost two, sir." Cole's jaw tightened. Names flashed in his mind, comrades gone, lives paid to protect a secret buried for decades. "Move! We need to report back, before anyone else finds this place." The squad moved carefully through the forest, rifles raised. Every rustle, every bird call, every broken branch underfoot was a potential threat. The Germans had not only left traps inside the bunker, the surrounding forest could hide snipers, ambushes, or booby traps. Cole led the way, eyes scanning every tree line. A sudden movement to their right. Cole dropped to the mud, rifle ready. A figure, German, wounded, crawling through brush, raised his hands, surrendering. Cole lowered his rifle slowly. "Don't move," the man stammered in broken English. "You shouldn't have gone in there." Cole glanced at Reeves, motioning silently. "Tie him up. We move." They pressed forward, navigating the ruined forest. Shell craters and scorched earth marked the path of recent battles. The squad avoided open areas, sticking to shadowed paths, slipping past the remnants of abandoned German encampments. Every step brought them closer to safety, and farther from the deadly secret beneath the ground. Hours later, they reached a clearing where a command post had been set up. Cole reported to the battalion commander, detailing the bunker, the Germans encountered, and the contents recovered. The officer's face paled as he scanned the blueprints, documents, and experimental devices Cole laid out. This could have changed the course of the war if it had fallen into the wrong hands," the commander muttered. Cole nodded. "It's secured. For now. But the bunker, it's only one of many. There could be more. And the Germans knew exactly how to defend them." Reeves leaned against a tree, exhausted. "We actually made it out alive. I thought that machine was going to take us all." Cole allowed a brief moment of relief but kept his gaze steady. "We were lucky. We fought smart, stayed together. That's what kept us alive. But the bunker's secret, it's bigger than any of us imagined." The squad packed up the recovered materials. Every crate, every document, every mechanical device would be transported under heavy guard to Allied intelligence. Cole watched as engineers and officers cataloged the items, securing them for analysis. The forest behind them grew silent once more, hiding the bunker and its remaining corridors in shadow. Decades of secrecy had ended in a violent struggle, but the echoes of the fight lingered, bodies, blood, and the memory of a deadly secret nearly lost to time. Cole finally lowered his rifle. He looked at his squad, weary but alive. "We did our job. History will remember this fight, even if no one knows the details yet." As the sun rose fully, filtering through the misty trees, the squad began their march back to the nearest Allied command. Each step carried the weight of what they had survived and what they had uncovered: a hidden Nazi bunker, a secret weapon, and a brutal fight that almost cost them everything. For Cole, Reeves, and the rest, the battle beneath the forest would haunt them forever, but they had succeeded where many would have failed. The hidden bunker's deadly legacy had been contained, its secrets captured by those who lived to tell the story. And somewhere beneath the earth, in the steel corridors of that forgotten bunker, the echoes of war and the ghost of German engineering waited, silent, deadly, and patient, as if the forest itself held its breath, guarding a secret 70 years in the making.